Triangle congruence postulate. So there are three postulates that we can make sure that two triangles are congruent without checking all six parts, which is three segments and three angles. So if two triangles have these conditions, then without checking all six parts, we can tell that two triangles are congruent. So let's say we have two triangles like this. And let's say we know that this guy is congruent to this guy is congruent to this guy, and this segment is congruent to this segment. So let's say this is A, B, C, D, E, F, right? So we can say triangle ABC is congruent to, again, you gotta be careful because A corresponds to D. So triangle D, E, F by, what is this, side, angle, side. The angle has to be included, right? It's that you can't have angles here. That angle has to be between those two lines. The angle has to be formed by those two lines. That's why we say SAS. So these two triangles we can tell that are congruent by SAS. So let's say we have another example. Let's say we have here 2 inches. Let's say we have triangle STU, LMN. Here's 2 inches. Let's say this is 30 degrees. This is 30 degrees. And this is 70 degrees. We can also say these two triangles, STU, is congruent to triangle LMN because we have same angle, angle, side, angle, right? So by angle, side, angle, so here's the angle right here, corresponding angles, here's the side, and here's another angles. So we can tell these two triangles are congruent. What if we have something like this? You see these two triangles here. We have A, B, C, D, and let's say these are congruent and these angles are congruent. So how can we say this is congruent, right? Well, you might say that these two triangles are not congruent because you only have 2 pairs of tick marks. You have to have 3 pairs of tick marks for the corresponding parts. Now, we notice that this guy, if I cut this line, if I cut along this line, we'll have 2 separate triangles, and then the length of this guy will be the same as this guy. So we can say triangle ABDC is congruent to triangle, what does A correspond to D? So DBC by SAS as well. But if you have something like this, we can tell this segment is congruent to this segment, even though my drawing is terrible, and this congruent is congruent to this segment. We only have 2 parts, and we don't have another parts. Therefore, we can conclude that these 2 triangles are congruent. And also, if you have something like this, now it looks like SAS, but we say this is segment, segment, angle. So segment, segment, angle is not one of these triangle postulates, so we cannot conclude that these 2 triangles are congruent.